mean, now we're working, right? Women are working now, so we don't necessarily have to compromise financial safety because we're capable to work. There are jobs, there are opportunities. So think about this. Like, what is easier for me to get? Is easier for me to get a job, or is easier for me to get someone that makes me feel safe? Probably easier to go and make the money, right? So what will be most important?
Okay.
We're equally capable of going to work and getting the money. So now we don't need to sacrifice safety for housing. I mean, in the worst case scenario, you just go and join the army, and there you go. You have house and food every day. It's like you're in a safe place.
That's really a great point you make, because if you look at it that way, where you don't live it, but there's some countries that, this women still are dependent on men for the financial, and I think sometimes they have to deal with situations that maybe they shouldn't, but they don't have a choice.
That doesn't mean they're like they're looking for sugar daddies. That doesn't mean that they wanted to stay home, and that only means they don't have a choice. And that makes a difference, because when you don't have a choice, when you live in a place in which you cannot work, there is a lot of compromising. So living like you don't have choices in a place where you actually do, right?
That's right. But we also don't come with a manual from the man's perspective on how to be emotionally safe. Like, how do we men know that we're providing emotional safety? Like, how do we know?
We get our kids and we're like, nobody taught me how to be a parent, but do you know how to be a kid? So if you go back to the basics, I feel like it's really going back to the basics. I feel like we always say, oh, I don't have the ability to control, but would you scream at your boss? No. Would you punch your boss in the face? No. Then you do know how to control. You just choose not to control your anger in certain places. So it's very basic. I think a lot of times we're like, oh my God, this work. No, it is basic things. You won't punch people next to you on the street, then you don't do it at home. You don't.
Well, is that what? But emotional safety, because I think that crosses into physical safety, right?
Yeah.
Which I think that's a universal no.
Yes.
No one should put up with that, male or female. But or maybe, is there a difference between physical safety and emotional safety?
Yeah, of course. No, and I'm sorry, because I think you're right. I didn't answer your question about emotional safety and what.
No, but I think they go hand in hand.